Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your time and your viewership. Here we have the very first time that I've covered this brand on my channel. This is actually my very first fragrance from this brand. I've known about this brand for a long time. They're called Ajmal, and the fragrance is called Cashmere Wood, part of the Purely Orient collection. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Ajmal's Cashmere Wood, part of the Purely Orient collection, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews just like this, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, and more, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner. It would mean so much to me. And of course, while you're at it, please be sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell icon and give this video a thumbs up. It would mean a lot to me. So Ajmal, very first time covering this brand. They actually have a few different offerings within this collection, which is called the Purely Orient collection. And these are all very Eastern inspired fragrances. And this one, of course, contains cashmere on, and that's why the fragrance is called Cashmere Wood. Now, it's actually a pretty complex note breakdown. You have mandarin orange, lavender, you have cashmere wood, agar wood in the base, you have some resins, this amber accord that's in there as well. But the heart, I think, is really interesting, and it's the one thing that really stood out for me, at least. It actually has cacao and iris. And so that combination creates a certain effect that, for me, I love this fragrance. I also want to mention that if you are interested in sampling or purchasing this fragrance, you may do so at maxaroma.com. I'm going to leave all of the information down below to where you can check it out, and please check this one out because I think it's an amazing fragrance released in 2019. I'm just now getting around to reviewing it, but I'm excited to give you my thoughts on the smell. Let's take a look at the presentation. So right in the opening of this fragrance, you are greeted with that combination of the cocoa and the iris, and it's just amazing. And it's actually kind of reminding me of a few different fragrances. I don't want to say anything yet, but it opens up with this iris that is not lipsticky. And so it's not going to be like a Dior Homme or a Dior Homme Intense or something like that. It's not a lipsticky iris, but it has this clean smoothness about it. And it's just a tiny bit powdery, like 5% powdery on account of that cacao. And so it's this chocolatey sort of an iris thing that's happening in there. It's not a gourmand fragrance by any stretch of the imagination, but you do pick up on a little bit of sweetness, which is also possibly coming from a little bit of vanilla and amber that's in the base, and there is amber in the note breakdown. And as far as the opening is concerned, with that sort of citrusy lavender thing that's happening in there, I get maybe a little bit of the lavender, but it's really way in the back of this fragrance. It's more so, in my opinion, about that cacao and that iris combination. And so this is a very unique fragrance because even when I tried to compare it to some other fragrances that it's kind of reminding me of, I can't really make a 100% solid comparison. There are a lot of fragrances that are popping into my mind, especially on account of a lot of the notes that are used in here. Maybe I spotted a bit of a parallel, but at the end of the day, this is its own fragrance. It's totally unique. And so the best way that I would classify this is kind of like an amber fragrance, right? I know, of course, with a name like Cashmere Wood, you do have that smooth, musky quality on account of the cashmere that's used in the base. Very unique raw material to be used in perfumes, but it's really about the combination of a lot of the ingredients that I'm finding in the heart and the base, not so much the top, but the heart and the base that contribute to the overall effect of this fragrance. All right, so let me get into it. Let me tell you what fragrances this is kind of reminding me of. So it's in the ballpark of a Valentino Uomo by Valentino. And so it kind of has that iris and sweetness with that hazelnut kind of a quality that's in there. So it's a little sweet, it's a little irisy, so it kind of puts me in the mindset of that. But the cacao note that's used in here is kind of reminding me of L'Homme Idéal by Guerlain. And that is like one of my favorite fragrances of all time. So as soon as I made that connection, I was like, oh, I love this one. I'm actually making it my scent of the day today. I'm getting ready to meet up with a few friends in Manhattan in a few hours. But there is one other fragrance that this one is reminding me of a little bit more than those two. And maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me. Maybe it's a combination of the lavender, the agarwood that's in the base, which is of the clean variety. I know that kind of sounds like an oxymoron to say a clean oud, but it's that combination of the fruits, the lavender, and that sort of sweet quality about this fragrance, which is not gourmand, but it is a little bit on the ambery side of things. It actually reminds me a little bit of Alexandria 2 by Xerjoff. And as soon as I made that connection, I was like, okay, so really classy, really refined. I love that combination of the iris and the cocoa with a little bit of that fruitiness happening in the opening. I don't really get an apple vibe from this fragrance, and I think Alexandria 2 has something fruity about it. I don't get that same sort of a fruitiness, but I suppose it's that sort of patchouli and agarwood combination in the base that is kind of putting me in the mindset of Alexandria 2. And when you smell this one, you'll see exactly what I mean. Nobody has made that connection yet. It's just me. I'm the lone wolf at the moment, but I love this fragrance. Definitely smells of niche quality. So once again, all the information is going to be down below if you're interested in checking this fragrance out. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I know I compared this one to L'Homme Idéal by Guerlain, Alexandria 2 by Xerjoff, and Valentino Uomo, but at the end of the day, it is its own scent. It has a level of uniqueness about it. These are just mild comparisons, but if I had to compare it to any of them, I would say, to me at least, it smells the most like Alexandria 2 by Xerjoff, although the oud in the Xerjoff offering is much heavier. This one is a little bit on the smoother, kind of silkier side on account of that cocoa iris combination, which is amazing. So the overall smell, very pleasant, very versatile as an aroma as well. Longevity, this is an eau de parfum, so you can expect it to last on your skin about 8 hours. The projection was great for the first 2 hours of application. It never radiated beyond an arm's length, but it never sat close to the skin either. It doesn't actually start to sit closer to the skin until about that 6 to 7 hour mark. Versatility, fantastic. You can dress this up, you can dress it down, you can wear it all times of the year. I think there's enough of that orangey lavender freshness in there with the iris that you can wear it in the hotter weather, but there's enough of that amber, patchouli, agarwood, cashmere wood thing happening in the base. You can wear it in the colder weather as well. I think it's perfectly unisex. Anybody of any age can wear this one. One of the most versatile scents that I have in my collection currently. And I think in terms of the presentation, I do like the color on the bottle. I like the design, the texture on the bottle, and I think the name is pretty cool too. Does a pretty good job of conveying what you can expect in terms of the smell. So my final verdict on this fragrance is, if you are a fan of fragrances like Alexandria 2 by Xerjoff, Valentino Uomo by Valentino, and even L'Homme Idéal by Guerlain, you want something that's silky, smooth, a little sweet on account of cocoa, but it kind of gives off this expensive smell. Please check this one out. Cashmere Wood by Ajmal, part of the Purely Orient collection, is an awesome, awesome fragrance. I'm really glad that I picked this up from Max Aroma. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate your time and your viewership. This is an awesome fragrance. I definitely recommend that you check this one out. This has been my fragrance review of Purely Orient Cashmere Wood by Ajmal. If you own or have tried any fragrance from this line, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, if you are new to this channel and you took something of value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button down below, and of course, give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would mean so much to me. Thanks again for watching. Love you all. We'll see you next time. Bye.